Hello and welcome back to Gameplay. Technically, I'm your host, and today is Blood Moon Day, and we have left ourselves very little time to do what we need to do. So let's get moving right away. As I mentioned last time, I want to make some grenade chutes. I think we're good on munitions. We were going to build some more pipe bombs and probably some more pistol ammo. So we're going to build some bullet tips. How many can we do? That's too many. Let's do 400. I think that's the right amount. And then let's ditch some of our materials here. Yeah, we're going to want some explosives. So grenades, we don't have enough springs. But I think some pipe bombs should do for the day 28 Blood Moon, which that's crazy. I started doing this again in January. And we're already into March, which is wild to me. So thank you to those of you who have tuned in, who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. And I'd ask you to stay tuned. There's something I'm working on. I'm hoping it'll go the way that I want it to. So I hope you'll stick around. Subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't. That way you'll find out. Let's go ahead and build some pipe bombs. Oh, what am I missing for pipe bombs? Oh, pipes. And I think we're going to make 25 more. So that'll give us 20, 40, 60, 80. So I think that should be plenty, plus the 15 grenades. No leftover cement. Okay, that's all right. I think we have enough cement to do what we need to do. And hopefully we don't draw a screamer. We're going to need to do a little work, and we're going to have to do it very carefully here. In fact, the very first thing I'm going to do... So as I mentioned in the previous episode, I used to make like a chamber with a chute underneath the fighting position as a way of providing like space for a member of the party to throw grenades. However, I need something that works for doing this solo. And this should be it here. This should work. This isn't the right spot for this. No, I think we need to... is it deeper in? I think so. And we have to do this very carefully because in my test scene, actually we're not going to hit that block. We're going to hit this one here and this one. In my test scene previously, I found that this base design that I have is actually not very stable because I cheap out on certain blocks to try to make this work better. And that means that I don't have a very stable design, but it should still work. When it's all is said and done, we just have to make sure we replace blocks as we remove them rather than removing this whole row. Because it's possible it could collapse. I'm really worried right now, but I think we should be okay. Okay, I think we're good. I would love it if I had build vision, if I could see the stability of a structure. In fact, I don't see why that isn't a perk. That'd be an excellent perk for those of us who are buildy boys. Okay, I think this is good. I think this means we're okay. I really do hope we have enough cement. So I'm gonna just make this cement here. Probably doesn't need to be... Well, it's just in case. So this isn't foolproof. This chute is not foolproof. I could definitely blow myself up. You know, it shouldn't kill me, but, you know, it's definitely possible. Oh, we got an airdrop. Which reminds me, I think I missed... No, I definitely missed an airdrop in the desert. We're going to have to go for those airdrops later, I'm guessing, because there's no way it's going to be close enough. That's not too bad, but I still think that we're probably going to skip on that. I'm wondering if this needs to be... Okay, let's at least make this cobblestone. And let's make these concrete. And then I think we should be okay to just knock down this entire portion of it. It should be safe to knock down now. In fact, it's not really supporting anything anymore. It's just hanging off of it. And unfortunately, we're also going to have to dig all of this clay up. And we are going to do the bottom 2 rows cement, because part of the issue of like hardening your fighting position is that it makes it a less attractive target if you don't also harden the rest of your base, at least as far as I understand. 200 and some hours into this game, and there's still a few things. Actually, I think I hit 300 already. Either way, there's still... I understand pathing, and then I also don't understand pathing sometimes. I think the bullet tips might be done. We want to turn that off as soon as possible because, again, we don't want screamers. I hate those guys. Yeah, it's done. Okay, turn that off. Let's grab bullet tips, casing, 200 rounds. That's the right amount. Turns out exactly the right amount. Glad I remembered I had this hammer. That was definitely not part of my calculus when I was thinking about how much I still had left to do. Saving that extra bonk is a pretty big deal. Oh man, I do terrible things for a miner's outfit right now. That would save me stamina on these pickaxe swings. Guess we could drink a coffee. Yeah, let's drink a coffee and try to burn through the rest of this. Because we've still got to finish digging this up, finish the chute up top, probably fortify the staircase. We've got to dig this out because I don't want to lip. Otherwise, as they fall down, they could potentially land on this lip and start swinging at the base up here. I want them to fall all the way down. All right, and let's take advantage of this coffee and get as much of this dug out as possible. So I'm glad this didn't collapse. The number of times that happened to me in creative while I was figuring out the chutes was frustrating, mainly because I didn't entirely understand what was going on. Would not pass inspection for sure, but it should hold up to a blood moon, probably. I mean, it's a pine forest blood moon. What is our game stage? 76. Does that mean we're getting irradiated yet? I don't know. I mean, we've definitely made up some of the progress that we needed in the last like 2 to 3 episodes because we were a bit behind. All right, how many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're falling about 10 blocks. I think if we dig this down, we're not going to do that today, definitely. But if we dig it down another 3 blocks, we should be able to avoid them getting enraged. Because if they land here, they're going to become enraged. And if they start digging through this dirt, as it is, like I said, I'm not sure about the stability of our base right now, especially after the changes that I made. So I'm a little worried in that regard. Here, I think what we can do is we can do some pillars here, and then work on the rest of it later. All right, let's work on another important part of the base, which is the actual fighting position. Part of fortifying it is also, I want to remove this railing. I want to do a different kind of design here. It's something I've been testing out, is the double railing. There's an issue with it in that you can kind of accidentally strike it with the club. I don't know if the baseball bat's gonna have the same issue, but I imagine because it's got kind of a wider swing. So there is that risk, but if you're careful enough, you can do it. I'll show you which block I'm replacing it with. It is also a pillar, or a pole rather, and it is this one right here, the double pole double, like that. Let's see, in regards to using the rest of our cement, we have to be judicious because we can do 75 blocks. No, it doesn't work without a path, so we might have to do the path. We're gonna upgrade this to cobblestone. We'll just have the center block be cement, maybe. We're not gonna get demos, so really there's no concern about that. And cops would blow up the wood for sure. So let's go ahead and get this up to cobblestone. See how much cement do we have? So that's 64 more blocks that we can do. Here, let's do these. We should have enough to do these side blocks here, just because they do like to attack these. And a good solution for that, or a solution for that I've done, is I put those whole blocks here up next to it, and they typically try to avoid them, and if they do go into them, well, they fall into them. So they attack the whole block rather than the staircase itself, which I prefer. And we can do another 32 blocks, although we do have to keep some in reserve for repairs. So let's do these blocks, because they tend to get hit. And I'm wondering if I should just bite the bullet and do these. Let's finish the chutes first. So we did the 60-degree wedge, and then we attach it to a half block there. We're going to do the same thing over here. Throwing grenades through here isn't too difficult. Basically, you're fighting here. Literally, all you got to do is turn down, and you can chuck a grenade through there. You know, you don't need too much oomph on it, right? Just a little bit of a throw will get it through. Because you don't want it to bounce too much. You kind of want it to land in front where they're going to be. So they're going to be falling right here. You just throw some grenades down. Let's see. Let's go ahead and eat a little bit. Get our bars set up. We don't have as many arrows as I would like. And we got to pick up our pistol ammo. Hell yeah, 200 more rounds. That is good news for us. I'm not expecting a crazy blood moon. I don't think it'll be too difficult for us. Given the state we're in, there is still a lot of wood on this base, so I don't know. We're about to find out. We're about to find out just what kind of enemies we face. Oh man, and this is still open. Gotta take care of business too. Okay, no problem so far. Okay, there's a feral. Alright, we got a few kills with that explosive. Let's keep up the work. Yeah, these are mostly regular zombies. I think we're in for a pretty easy one. I would like it if you moved out of the way. I mean, right now we are just cruising through these guys. Now we're getting the results of some of our grenades. Now these mows, their belly's getting away, and then you can't hit them. There you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward through this part because really the whole blood moon is kind of just this, which is a good proof of concept in the sense that, like, yeah, doing this solo was pretty easy. You know, the grenade chute works well. Swinging through the bars here works pretty well, right? It's a decent solo base, right? What the issue being is that it's not a great test because, like, I just didn't get very many ferals. The worst I got were some cops, and they weren't even feral cops. So it's just me kind of alternating between repairing, throwing grenades, swinging bat. Every once in a while, I think I pull out the pistol to deal with some more difficult zombies. But other than that, it's just a lot of the same, which, you know, makes for an easy blood moon. That's not bad. Definitely collect a decent amount of XP. I think I gain a few levels here, get some decent loot bags at the end. But, you know, maybe not the most compelling content. Certainly not as dramatic as our fight in the mausoleum, as that was kind of more of a struggle to survive. So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to, in the next episode, just pick up all of our stuff, or as much as we can, and go to the desert and set up shop there for the loot bonus. I think we're a little behind on levels, honestly. Like, I think we're barely hitting level 40 at this point, and we should probably be further ahead. So I think we're almost at the point where we should be hitting the snow biome, but I'm not quite there yet. I definitely want a mini bike before we do that, and we're on day 29 and we don't have a mini bike, which is a little rough. Here we deal with a few vultures, not a big problem. We don't even get the big vultures that throw puke at us. And then you can see here I switched to the pipe bombs. So the pipe bombs also work pretty well. They don't roll as easily as the grenades, though. Sometimes they kind of go in weird directions, as you can see there. But overall, this design works well. The dogs are a little bit of a problem just because they're short. But yeah, I'm thinking moving to the desert, get that loot bonus over there. I think the desert is a more interesting place than the burnt forest, just because the burnt forest is a bummer. Bad vibes there and all. We'll even do some of the missions over at the desert and see what that holds for us. Might even try a different base design. I don't know, we'll see. There is the type that you put on stilts and drop bombs into a hole, but I don't like that one because once you start getting demos, which we might with our game stage at the desert, I think that's going to be a problem. It's just going to make the hole bigger and bigger. Now, that's like a one-time use design, which maybe we'll just do one time in the desert and then move to the snow biome. So we might do that just as a quick and dirty base to get us through the day 35 blood moon. Yeah, really, it was just a lot of regular zombies. I even thought I would finish all the waves, but we didn't. And that's it. Still hear a few. Let's go take a look. Nope, don't want to fight this biker. In particular, don't want to fight two. Alright, that seems to be it. Let's collect some of these arrows and then get our loot. Yeah, I mean, they did a little damage, right? That cop blew up, made a hole here. Not a big deal. You can fill that in. Alright, not really much of a fight, but we got some books to read. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to build a compound bow, which means we're probably going to the desert to hit up that savage country that gave us trouble last time. We'll go ahead and save the get hammered. Yeah, not a particularly special fight. I guess I should have figured. Right, I think we have kind of gotten past anything we can do here. A few zombies over here, might as well take care of them. We got a few levels too, we'll probably figure that out. Sell our stuff, figure that out, maybe head out to the desert. A lot of beer. A lot of these zombies just had beer to drop. Too bad we're not a brawler. Oh, tactical warfare. Where are we on that? Let's see what else he's got before we make our decision. Bandages are actually worth picking up. Oh, crucible. So we have until day 31. Okay, I think we are shifting gears. We are going to instead complete some missions here. So let's move quickly and do this fetch. I'm interested in some of these night-only missions.
You need some work?
And I suppose we could also do some salvaging of vehicles. Actually, let's spend our points real quick. Okay, so we spent our points getting agility up to 7. We will have to live with that decision, but I do want to improve archery and pistols. Let's see, is there anything we can leave going? Probably this and this. All right, we just spent basically all the money we had gotten. Let's go head out to where the fetch is. Really, there's probably not any point to doing fetch quests in the Pine Forest anymore. That last blood moon has really kind of hammered in that we're done here. Alright, let's see what kind of supplies we got. Not terrible. Let's do the fetch. Then we'll go get the airdrop. We'll go pick up our food, and then maybe we'll go to the desert from there. We can do another vehicle, however, in the meantime. Or before we go, rather. We need the eggs for eggs and bacon. Okay, let's take a look here. Have I done this one before? This one doesn't look familiar to me. Okay, it is below, so we're gonna have to get into a basement down here. And it's looking like it's not going to be easy for us, so we might just have to do something crazy. We might actually just have to do the POI. We probably could pretty easily dig down into here. What is this made of? 5,000, that'd take a minute. This is a more difficult POI, so potentially it could be dangerous. Just to be on the safe side, let's build a few wood spikes. Just in case. You never know. Is that a zombie? It looks like it. There we go. Yep, sure is. Oh, it's a cop. Look at that. Well, we know what to do to these guys. Oh, definitely just blew up that container. Didn't mean to. Alright, so I imagine this is a way to our fetch. We're gonna just go ahead and take these steroids. Back door and basement. Anything nice back here? Doesn't look like it. Alright. There it is. Is that a feral crawler? Oh boy. There's a few of them there. Is that white feral? Yep, that white sure is feral. Could be legendary parts in here. Yep, there we go. A legendary part. I don't see any ferals. Well, nothing creepy going on in here. Alright, and we had a loot room right over here. We're probably going to have a hard time loading up on. Yep. We don't need everything in here. We just need a few of the things. Oh, interesting. Cripple a mod. 20% chance to cripple leg on a bipedal target. Not sure how big that is. I mean, I guess it's not bad, but it's also better to, you know, just kind of shoot him in the head. I have found. I think we're gonna take this. No lockpicks. Let's see what's in here. Always love a good crack a book. Interesting. We haven't even hit the Savage Country. There might be more bow parts in here. Nope. Alright, that does it for that fetch mission. Let's go ahead and turn it in. We will then pick up the air supply drop. And what day? So we have 2 days to get that crucible. Trying to think of what the best way is. Let's sell what we've got. See how far that gets us. And we'll kind of decide from there if we want to head out to the desert or just find a good spot to salvage. Okay, let's put us at 1100.
There, you wouldn't want to get hurt.
So not a huge increase from where we were at. Now we're definitely gonna have to change up our strategy if we want to buy that crucible. Because what was it, like 15,000? Oof, yeah. Okay, we can make a Magnum quality 3. Do we have the book that allows us to barter better? Yep. So we'll want to make a Magnum. Maybe even before we leave. Let's see, duct tape, spring. Yeah, we should have everything on there. We don't have enough handgun parts. Despite our adventures out in the desert, we didn't get enough handgun parts. Huh. Okay, let's go grab that airdrop. I think it stopped showing up on your map at some point, but I think you still find it if you get close to it. Oh, a level 4 hammer. Interesting. No acid. Not bad. Is that? I think that's from a book that we got. I don't think you normally get acid from just opening a vehicle. There's another engine we can sell. Oh, damn. That was unexpected. Yep, there he goes. No one asked him to pop, but he did anyway. Alright, we are loaded up with vehicle parts. There's one more thing I want to do. And that is complete my goldenrod challenge. Oh, we don't have room for this. Figures. There it is. Okay, so we're about a quarter of the way there. A little less than that. We'd essentially have to spend all of today and tomorrow gathering in order to make sure that we get it. And we just might. Here we go. We can get some forge aheads, it looks like. Oh, we are so close to the mixing station. Okay, well. So I'm thinking is we might move out to the desert. Try to set up kind of a forward operating base there. And hopefully do some more difficult missions. I was hoping to get that crucible though. That's going to be big for us. Even selling what we have. I mean, Wrecked is only going to buy so much of what we have. Gonna think on it. Even though it was kind of a bummer of a blood moon just because it was, I mean, fairly easy. I guess it's always going to be easy in a base like this unless we get like a really high game stage. But I did like that this tested out just fine, or a grenade chute that is. It was really easy to use, not a lot of thinking involved. We just racked up a ton of XP doing that. So I'm happy with that. That was fun. That was a good test for it. And if you had a good time, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one.